Hi. Before starting to describe the important events that took place within last week or recently, we would like to give you a brief summary of what has happened during last week. And these are all important events. We think they are signs of major events, developments that will take place later on in 2019 and 2020. But these are important events to be aware of. So from now on, we are going to each Monday or beginning of the week, we would like to share these events with you and try to make some connections, the events with our projections for future, so what might happen within global economy and politics. Now we want to start with Egypt. As you know, last week there had been two events or two suicide bombs took place in Cairo. The last one, as far as we know, 3 people were killed and 6 injured severely. Now, why this is important for us? Since Sisi is in power, he had promised that he is going to secure the country, but these events has been showing that he hasn't succeeded yet. And especially 2 Cairo bombs within 1 week shows that there are really weaknesses within the security parameters of Egypt. And now, why it's economically important for Egypt? Because after the new year, it is time for tourism agencies to reserve the hotels and the beds for the coming summertime. And now these events will definitely damage the reservations, especially that will take place within early 2019. And that's considering that Egypt had already received loans from IMF, and the investment that they are now doing for oil and gas exploration has not returned to US dollars yet. Tourism industry is utmost important revenue for Egypt for budget purposes. A reduction or a deduction in the turnover will definitely affect the economy and the stability of country within 2019 and further 2020-21. And that's very important for to remember. So these events shows 2 things important. One, the economy will be damaged because of the loss of turnover, possible loss of turnover, if I have to correctly say. Second, it shows that Sisi as a president hasn't secured Egypt yet. Now, from this event, we should go to another aspect of Egypt, which is about the brotherhood, Muslim brotherhood connections or relations. As you know, they have a very strong direct thought about or an idea about the group. But as a Turk, I am aware that these kind of direct fist or a hard fist doesn't work at all. A democracy doesn't require these groups to be terminated or being ineffective by a hard fist. You have to put them in the political democratic path and let them to let their voice to be heard. If people would like to choose, they should have the right to choose it. If they don't, they will not eventually. So the most important always part of democracy is to educate the people and let them to choose whatever they think is best for the country. And unless Egypt is going to find a way to live with the Muslim Brotherhood group, these events also will emerge to a much more severe actions and reactions in future. So showing these attacks in Cairo is nothing to do with Muslim Brotherhoods, but economic instability is going to rise Muslim Brotherhoods once again, maybe in coming decade, let's say at most. That's important to remember. Now, the second important event that I think it is important to remember. I told in last week that Russia has established a new military base in Kyrgyzstan. It will be a second one, and this is mainly to protect Russia from the terrorists coming from especially Afghanistan once US is going to leave the country, since they have a deal now with Al-Qaeda. Now, considering that, China is doing the same now. They have a strong wish to establish a military base in Tajikistan. Once concerning the geography, it's very important move for China. It shows two things. One, China doesn't want these terrorists to come to their country and attack. Second, you have to think about the One Belt, One Road initiative. They are now trying to establish the logistics from China to where they want to sell, and also to the countries where they are going to also bring the raw materials to China back for production purposes. Now, considering these and the Tajikistan, it makes sense for China and for us also that China is considering to protect the roads and the security of the transportation and logistics and raw materials, and also China itself as a motherland from the possible terrorist attacks. So that's important to remember how it's important for global powers once US has been or has decided to leave Afghanistan, and how Russia and China now has a concern about security. That's very important also. Now, the third one is about the developing countries and the developing countries' economy. Each week we are hearing from one to another country that they are trying to do something new in order to recover economically. Now, this news or this event has happened in Kazakhstan. President Nursultan Nazarbayev announced that he has accepted the resignation of the existing administration due to the economic program failure. President has considered that the recent administration has failed to bring stability in terms of economy to country. Now he has the opportunity to establish a new administration to bring all the new ideas forward in order to establish an economic recovery program, which he would do it. So we strongly believe that the upcoming administration is going to be first focus on economy and try to bring stability to Kazakhstan. And also, moreover, we are aware that Kazakhstan has failed to establish facilities that will reduce the number of unemployments within the country, since up until now this has not effectively taken place. We believe this new administration will be more open to open their borders to investors, which they need to attract in order to establish an economic recovery program. But this is yet to be seen. But this is very important how the developing countries has been struggling. Now, the last week there had been an event, an announcement from Turkey. The foreign minister Çavuşoğlu has declared that Turkey is going to start drilling for oil and gas off Cypriot coast. This is very important, how Turkey is determined to reach cheap energy in order to boost its economy. It's very important for Turkey because Turkey has been paying around 40 billion to 50 billion US dollars for energy resources, since Turkey has no resource at all. They have to buy everything from abroad. But also Cyprus, in terms of military and economically, is less than or very small. They had a deal with Italy, Israel and Egypt, including Greece. So this bloc now is against Turkey to, let's say, to establish a bloc against Turkey means that it will be a very close event to watch for. Why it's important? Because we know that all these drilling boats are protected, guarded by navies. Both sides navies. So once the navies are within the parameters of their EEZ, economically recognized as a zone, there might be always a tension between two navies. So within 2019 and further 2020-21, unless two sides has come to a mutual understanding on the agreement, there will be always a tension on sea, that this tension might rise a clash. So from now on we are going to closely monitor these events and we are going to report to you. But that is very important how energy is going to now shape, especially the East Mediterranean Sea, within the coming decade. It's really important to watch in future. The other important event that I had mentioned, especially in one of my videos, that Turkey or all the Turks were very angry to US administration once they halted the purchase or the sale of Attack 1 helicopter or chopper to Pakistan. To remind you, the event, Turkey has developed a helicopter, a small, fast, I would say small size chopper. It's an attacking type helicopter. And we wanted to sell it to Pakistan, but United administration had put a halt on it due to the reason that the engine belongs to Honeywell, and Honeywell is a United States company, and United States basically said you cannot sell it, including my engine, to Pakistan. Now we Turks think that it's something that's against to us, only to us, and that will that's not reasonable. Now this example we always try to indicate that is not true. This is about the economy and the economical things. If it's yours, you can sell it. If it is not yours, you cannot sell it. That's very easy. None of the countries will agree this. Now, especially coming now, example is very important between Germany and England. As you might maybe aware that Germany has halted arms deals to Saudi Arabia due to the humanitarian events taking place in Yemen, and also the Khashoggi event that took place in Istanbul. Now, why it's important also related to UK, London, because London has no concern not to sell anything to Saudi Arabia, since they are now broken apart from EU and their economy is not well going on. They want to increase any sale to anyone. But there is a problem, like between Turkey and United States. The arms deals or the arms equipments has been containing some of the parts that's produced in Germany, and due to that reason, Germany says to UK, you cannot sell my equipments to Saudi Arabia, and they can't. So that means economically they are not benefiting from this. UK foreign minister wants or requests Germany to reconsider this, not to Khashoggi event but only to humanitarian events. But it seems that Berlin is not going to back off, and they will continue to pursue their interest idea, which is not going to allow UK to sell those equipments where German brands are included. So that's important to remember for Turkey, that it's nothing to do personal or this and that, but it's only business. So if you do it yours, you can sell. If you don't, you can't. That's very easy. These are very important events that I collected from the last week's developments and share with you. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.